Hey there, this is Greg, the Masked Gamer, and I am back with part 3, the second half of Stoneface's first delve, being escorted by Serge. I tried again to fix this little tilty camera thing and failed. It is what it is. If you'd like to give me a great birthday present, come fix my cameras. Alright, anywho, for those of you who didn't watch the first half and are new to my channel, this is a place for COVID cautious folks to talk about board games. You don't need to be COVID cautious in order to be here, provided there is no harassment, minimization, or denialism of any kind. With that said, I am here by myself today, so I am not wearing a mask, so you can see my face, but visibility and is important. Okay, that said, where were we? So we had just killed the Bog Witch, and we're now going to head into the rest phase. Oh, yeah, this is kind of important. Yes, this is tomorrow in real time, and yes, I am still wearing the same clothes I was wearing yesterday. You can judge me all you want. Feel better about yourselves? Great. Let's continue onward. So we're going to go to the rest phase. And I always forget the exact order of events for the rest phase because by the time the rest phase comes, everybody's like, oh my God, that was exhausting. Okay. First, rest abilities. Techniques. Knights may play technique cards with the rest keyword. So here, our friend Stoneface can fortify during rest, which lets somebody get an extra health. We're going to go ahead and do that for him because he's still wimpy compared to everybody else. So he's going to gain 1 heat. That's going to give him 1 bonus health, which are these little red cubes that I put somewhere. Where did I put them? Oh, I didn't put them anywhere. They're still in the tray over here. Okay, so he's going to get... Oh, wait. Haha, I suck at life. There. Nope. There. So he's going to get a little red cube over here. All right. Then, why is this so crooked? Why is everything so crooked in my life? That looks better. That's off kilter. I don't care. It is what it is. What happens if I zoom in today? You know, I'm obviously really with it right now. That's kind of useless on every front, so we're just going to go ahead and zoom that back. All right. So he uses that. That goes down into his cooldown area over here. And I'm just going to take this keyboard that I don't need during this call and put it here. All right, so he did that. That's also going to add an opening token to the night pool. And we're just going to put our night pool right in the middle of the map over here so that we can all see it from very far away, because that's how it is. Oh, shoot. This is not great either, isn't it? You're watching me do tech support that I don't know how to do in real time. I really, I just started following Dicing with Death recently because they've been doing a lot of stuff for Grim Coven and Below that I'm really excited about. And oh my God, they've got multiple camera angles, these close-ups, like all this amazing stuff. And I'm so jelly. So jelly. I just wish I had somebody who could make it all happen, but I don't. Okay, over here, we have for Sanch's ability, he for 2 heat can make us lose 1 threat. And we're going to go ahead and do that as well because our threat is all the way up at 5 and we've got to go a bunch more time. We're going to lower our threat by 1, and that is going to add a break token to our night pool here. Okay. Resource token. Discard all resource tokens. We don't have any. Perform rotation 2. So that's rotation 1. And this is rotation 2. So this now means we have rat wolves in the marsh district. The bog witches moved to the drowned district, which we're not going to go anywhere near. And the Paleblood Worms that we're off to try to hunt so I can fight them for the first time are in the mud district to the east. Great. And we can resolve a campfire tale, potentially. Most likely not. And to see if we can perform a campfire tale, we're going to go ahead and roll a d10. Oh, we got a 9. Okay, so we're actually going to do a campfire tale. That's exciting. I think this might be the first time I've ever seen one happen in the Sunken Kingdom. I feel like it always happens for us in the Greg, use your words, in the Principality of Stone, but never quite so in the Sunken Kingdom. So here we go. In the Undergrowth. Oh, switch to story. In the Undergrowth, you're awoken about halfway through the night by a sudden shrill droning. So loud. Oh, this is a really good picture of the Sunken Kingdom. Looks like it's beautiful, beautiful parts. Beautiful, beautiful parts. The kingdom is sinking, it's the Sunken Kingdom. Yes, I ordered the art book for this game, which is so unlike me. Like, I'm so obsessed with it. Anyway, okay. So loud, it almost manifests as a physical weight in the air. The vibrations of thousands, nay, millions of tiny chitinous bodies surrounding you. There's so many bugs here. It's camping, but worse. You go to roll over, and a black cloud swells up from your belly. A swarm of insects dislodged by the tiny motion. Your makeshift bed, your tent, even the ground is coated in a thin, living layer of bugs. You can feel more than a few finding gaps in your clothing and crawling their way inside. You slap at the critters, but the crunch of their ruined bodies seems to only draw still more in, devouring their remains. It takes all of your strength not to jump up and run to escape the swarm. Carefully extracting yourself from your bedroll, you do the only thing you can. Find some damp branches and piles of leaves and throw them into the fire. The thick plume of gray smoke that escapes from the hissing flames swiftly drives back the insect horde. Now, instead of a barrage of writhing, biting critters, you have to contend with smoke scraping into your throat, nostrils, and burning your eyes. You're not sure which is better. You pass the rest of the night uneasily, keeping the fire stoked to hold back the, the biting. So apparently, that's nice. So apparently, we lose 2 threats. So I guess Sir Sanj didn't need to do that after all, because we're now down to 2 threat, which gives us plenty of leeway. Stoneface needs 1 red clue. Sanj needs 1 green clue. None of this should be a problem. We're going to head east into the muck area, hoping that we will fight some Paleblood Worms a little bit later on. Okay, and so now we shall begin. Like I said, we're gonna head east into Mudland, so that's gonna take us over here. We're going to get 1 time, bringing us to 9, lose 1 threat, bringing us down to 1. I'm gonna flip this card. Oh, and I forgot to change the penalty again. And here we go. This is our first card in the mud district today. I'm going to look for numbers that I will not find. I do not see any. We're going to put this here. This card has a shortcut on it, which we can use with our Swamp Striders still, if we wanted to. But I mean, that's only going to happen if something dreadful occurs. For now, we're just going to put this next tile here, which is where we're going to end up going on next turn in the Mud District. Okay, so with that, we're going to... Oh, shoot. I need to spend 1 heat to put Sir Sanj back on here. Oh, our friend... Little Sarah. Our friend Sir Sanj has quite a lot of heat already. He's already got 3 heat, so there's not much else that I can do. I used that red stability, blah, 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 blah. That's okay, yep. I mean, it all is what it all is, and that is what it is. Okay, we're going to look at the top 2 and pick 1. We have Overflow and Mud That Catches. Flow, Mud That Catches. Did I change the light frequency from yesterday? I can't tell. Someday I'll figure out something to do about this. Not today, that's for sure. Okay, both of these have a sync symbol, but we actually don't have anything on the card, so that's going to be fine. Everything, we're in the Mud District now, and there's nothing in our... Oh, you know what? Before the end of the previous delve round, one night was supposed to gain 1 heat or suffer cooldown. So we'll have given 1 heat to Kaya. I forgot about that. Okay. So overflow would be place 1 flood token on X number of kingdom tiles in your current district that already have one, where X is your curse level 0. If X is 0, getting curse +1 instead. That's not so bad. As I choke and die. Mud that catches is place a generic token on a random path leading into an unexplored kingdom tile. During the next travel step, if you use that path advance time by 2, then discard that token. That's actually great. I want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to place a generic token on the nearest this unexplored kingdom tile. And if we take that path, we're going to advance time by 2 instead of 1. We only need 1 clue for each person. There's no need to prolong this delve. So that's perfect. Great. So, ends of the story phase. Nothing happens. We go to the next delve round, and we're going to go here. We're going to advance time by 2 instead of 1 because of the mud that catches during the next Travis. Okay, yep. And so we discard this token. We're going to get 1 clue, which is a blue clue, which nobody needed, but it is what it is. So yeah, and we're going to flip this tile and see what we've got. It looks like we're nearing some red goopy area, so maybe the Lost Kingdom of Eshin is. Is off to the right there. There's a temple and a bunch of stuff, and we're going to try to read and see if we can find a number, but I will not find a number. I'm especially not going to find any hidden numbers today because the lights are less bright to try to make things a little bit better for you all. Nope, there's this. This is going to link to a long, small 5 heading this way, and a large 5 off to the right. Large 5 off to the right. Me? I think we're going to leave the map the way it is for now and just hopefully not have to move everything too much. We'll see what happens. Okay. So I couldn't find anything on there. And we're going to go ahead and do the exploration phase. We have First Men Pursuit and Sudden Flooding. First Men Pursuit, Sudden Flooding. Sudden Flooding is place a surge token on the kingdom sheet and then trigger Sync, which does absolutely nothing right now. Then there is First Men Pursuit. Place this card on the active effects area. Place a generic token on a random path leading from your current tile. If you follow that path, resolve an encounter and discard this card. If not, repeat this process once at the start of the next exploration step. If you still didn't follow it, discard this token in the generic effect. I think this is a good time to trigger a sync because there's actually no bad effect to it. So we're going to put First Man Pursuit on the bottom here, and we are going to place a surge token on the kingdom sheet and trigger sync, which actually does nothing in this case, and that's that. Okay. Great. So I was going to go right, but now the next thing to the right is just another yellow clue, of which I have plenty. But I also have very low threat, so I figure there's no problem with that. So we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to come here. We're going to add 1 time. That brings us to 12. We're going to add 2 threat. That brings us to 3. We add a surge token because it's a large tile. We're going to get a yellow clue, and we're going to get a random clue for the other one, which is west, which is blue, which is the other color I don't need. So me thinking I had plenty of time to get 1 last clue of green and 1 last clue of red might have been a little hasty of myself, but it is what it is. And here we go. This is definitely bloody looking. Look at all of the bountiful fields, and it's very red. You just can't tell it's very red because of the light stuff that happens here. I might kill this. Let me see if this is much better for right now, at least until the sun goes down. So there's the Bountiful Fields. Oh look, you can basically see the camera phone above it. Isn't that amazing? Bountiful Fields. I know I've looked at this card a gazillion times and still never seen a number on it, but you never know. Maybe if I look hard enough today, I'll see something that I never saw previously, and it will just jump out at me. Nope, not today. Now, this is interesting because this this kingdom is really starting to spread down to the south here, which is not quite what I expected. We're gonna get, and I know I've been here before. I know I should know the lay of the land. I don't remember these things. It is what it is. I do know that there's something very nice on this giant tile up here, which I think it's going to be safe for us to go to, but we'll see how that all plays out. And this is the Bountiful Fields, and we're going to do a 4 plus 2 is 6 Shapes of the Dark. I don't want to do an encounter. But I think I'll be doing an encounter because I don't want to spend my last heat on that. So the party leader tests insight 7 plus 4. I don't think is going to cut it. Definitely not. So we are going to get ambushed, and this is going to be by the Paleblood Worms. So we're going to get our little encounter board here. Boop. We are going to change our camo view to encounter mode. Boop. So we're a little bit more zoomed in for this. We're going to grab 2 Paleblood Worms. I've done this Paleblood Worms encounter so many times, and they keep trying to fight the Paleblood Worms, and I just never ever get to. So it is what it is. We got 3 of our friends have single swords, which means only 2 of them can go on the board. So we're going to make that be Sanch and Stoneface so that they might be able to attack. And then we have a Chalice over here for Kaeya, who has a bow. So we'll put her here so she can shoot off into that corner there. And yeah, and this is probably going to not work out so well for us. So first Paleblood Worm goes on a blank. Second Paleblood Worm also goes on a blank. All right, so at least I can try to hit both of them. First, our friend Stoneface gets hit, and he got hit from his fortify, so it didn't really do anything, which is fine. Then we are going to try to attack that. We need to get a. I should show you the card. We need to get a 6 or higher to hit. We need to do 3 wounds. If we don't hurt anything, we get a Bane. If we get 1 hit, 1 knight suffers Bane 1 and 1 may refresh 1. Otherwise, 2 knights may refresh 1 and we place a break token in the knight pool. But we really don't have much to refresh because we actually do have some refresh. It's okay. All right, so the only people that can attack are Stoneface and Kaelia, the aspiring squire. We can add an opening token with Sir Sanch. So he's going to go ahead and add that opening token for Stoneface. So Stoneface is going to attack first and get 7 plus. So 7 is a hit. 3 plus 1 from his pitchfork and plus 1 from the opening from Sir Sanch is the second hit. So that is 2 hits. Passion goes up by 1. We're going to roll 3 red dice. And we got 1, 2, 3, and that's all we need. We just needed 3. So that was a wound. So we're going to remove this one from the board. And then we clear the middle dice night pool. We're going to add a break token and an opening token from his second ability window. And then Kaeya is going to go ahead and try to shoot this one. She's going to get a 6, which is enough to hit. And then she's going to get 3 power, which is enough to do damage. See, they're very consistent. That's 2 hits there. Nothing needs to get worried about from her pool. We're going to go ahead and remove these. We place a break token in the actual night pool. 2 knights may refresh 1. So he's going to refresh this, and this is going to refresh down to here. Oh, and I should have bubbled out. Stoneface refreshed his fortify thing back to his hand, and what's your name? Sanch got their rest activity out of cooldown. All right. But so that was that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to teleport this off of the board here, teleport this off of the board here, and continue our turn. We're now going to do the exploration phase. I really hope up is going to be red on this next one, but it's not. We have our choices between Curse Transfer and Will-O-Wisp. Curse Transfer lets us gain some curse to lose some threat. Will-O-Wisp, we would place this in the active effect area, place a generic token on a random path. If we follow that path, each knight loses 1 heat but triggers sync. We do that for 2 more rounds. I kind of just want to shove that at the bottom of the deck here and take the curse transfer. We're going to end up going south to get the red clue that we need instead of north to go to the more fun place. So we're going to take 1 curse to lose 1 threat. And that's that. And that's the end of the delve phase. So we're going to head down to here. That's going to advance our time to 13. Going to advance our threat to 3. And everybody's going to get a red clue. So that is now the last clue that Stoneface needed. So Stoneface is, assuming he doesn't die, Stoneface is going to get his investigation reward at the end of this. Here is the tile we have found. It is a smaller ziggurat. Oh, look, and it's our first ever cipher for this battle. Yay, we found a cipher. Oh, I have to see if I find any numbers on here. I mean, I don't think there would be a number because there's a cipher on this card, but who knows? All right, next to that is going to be long, short 8. Now, I know I said we weren't going to do any Sunken Kingdom activity, sub-kingdom activities, but if we do get all of our clues, we might enter a sub-kingdom just to, A, not get any more curse, and B, like, get some tokens to help build up the Jura later, even though it's not necessarily necessary. Necessarily necessary. That's good. So POI 3. 3 plus 0 is 3. 0, 0, that's a 0. 3 is floating backpacks. Distribute 4 gold between all knights. That's great. We're going to give all 4 gold to Sir Stoneface because Sir Stoneface is a little whip right now, so we're giving him 4 gold. All right. He's a big whip. He's a big, hard, stoic whip. Then we're going to go ahead and look at our exploration cards and see what we choose. We have choices between Sinkhole and Swamp That Walks. Sinkhole would place the party marker on the furthest revealed medium tile, which would put us all the way over here, and that would be really, really terrible for what I want to have happen today. Yeah, that would be pretty gross. And then the other thing will be a sync effect and also an ambush against a monster from your district, and you'll get the critical effect otherwise. We're obviously going to do the Swamp That Walks here. Unfortunately, that is going to trigger sync. So we are going to spawn north, which is okay, this flood token. And where did the rest of this thing go? Oh, and we have to do an ambush against the monster in our current district. So we're going to fight our worms again. Yay, more worms. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Wait, this was a double sword, and then I knocked it over. 3, 4. All right, so now we got 3 double swords, but there's only 2 double swords on the map, if I recall correctly. Yep. Okay. Oh no, there's 3. So, and then she got a chalice. This is the best place for her to shoot as much as possible, I believe. This is one of the better places for him because he has reach. Double sword here. And put her off in the corner there. Why, I don't know, but that's what's happening. All right, let's see where these monsters appear. We've got one on a sword chalice space. We're going to go ahead and put that there. And then the second one is on a blank space. And we're gonna, ooh, it has to attack as many people as possible, so that's gonna go there. So everybody's gonna lose 1 health except for Saj. So that's 1 health for Stoneface, which raises his trauma level and gives him the maximum heat. So that's not so bad. That's 1 wound on each of these squires. And they do not get to get their heat level raised, which is very sad. Okay. I don't have anything fun in that pool. She can hit, but she can give 2 opening tokens. So she's going to go ahead and give 2 opening tokens to Stoneface, who's going to attack first. He got an 8 and a 7, so that's 2 hits. So he's going to roll 3 dice against the 3 wound value of the Paleblood Worms. That is 1, 2, 3. That's enough to do a hit. Goody goody gumdrops. This one is dead. And that was a 0.2, so he's going to put a, what is that? He's going to put a break, going to put an opening, and he could push once. I don't see what good that's going to do, so he's not going to do it. And then Sir Sanch gets to try to do an attack, which is nice. We need Sir Sanch to get some hits. Sir Sanch definitely hit with a 9. And he also is going to get to roll 3 dice, which should be fine. We got 1, 2. We have a break from here. So that is enough to get rid of this other one. That's 2 hits. We're going to get the critical effect, which is going to let us get another card. So we're going to take a second upgrade card into our loot pile. And 2 knights may refresh 1, but there's, oh, wait, that's a lie. I can get this card back. And we're going to put another break token into the night pool. So our first, and that would have been really helpful against the Bog Witch and her like massive goopiness before. But hey, it is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Let's teleport that on out of there. Okay. So we resolved an ambush, blah blah blah. Now we get to do the story phase, and in the story phase, we're going to get to read ciphers for both Sir Sanch and Stoneface. So first, let's do Sir Sanch's, because I already had the Sunken Kingdom book out. Sir Sanch's, I think this is correct. I hope I didn't change this, because that might not be the right cipher for him. Cipher is 37. Okay. So we're going to take the 2 numbers on here, which are 93, add them to 37, and that becomes 9337, which is what we're going to look at, 9337. The ziggurat rises from the muck, pushing aside entire neighborhoods of the Untrabanti architecture to make its climb to the sky. As you draw near, you find a tiny hand pull at the back of your neck. Little Sir hunches closer to you, seemingly cowed by the massive shadowed structure. It's not often your little companion shows fear. Something got you spooked, little fellow? You ask, offering a scritch behind his ears to calm him. You can't deny, the closer you get to those black stones, the more you feel uneasy. Maybe little Sir has the right of it. There's nothing here for you, but maybe one of your companions shall find. So Stoneface's cipher is in the 10,000 Succulent Fears expansion book. And his is 54. So we're going to go to 93, 54 in here. The massive ziggurat has thrust its way out of the earth, an abrupt invader pushing aside vast mounds of mud and stone to make its way skyward. A dozen homes have been torn apart by its emergence, split like ripe fruit to spill their contents into the swamp. You pick through the remains of one such home now, noting the discarded belongings. Surely once precious to someone before the monolithic ancestor ruin had chosen to make itself known. Entire lives uprooted and cast aside so suddenly. What became of the people? You shake the thought away, can't get distracted now. There is also nothing for us here. Well, that sucked. We've only got 3 more rounds to get a green clue for Sir Sanch. We've got a flood behind us. Got nothing to the west of us. But we're going to go west. We're going to go west because we're going to try to avoid that flood. So here we go. We're going west. That's 1 time bringing us to 14. It brings our threat down to 2. And we're go. Oh, that adds a surge token because it's wet. So, okay. 8. I was correct that that's going to be going sideways this way. Here we go. I do not see any numbers on it. That does not mean there is not numbers on it. It just means I can't see them because I'm blind. Right, well, we knew that 10 was over there. I get the feeling this is going to be not a mud place to the west. No, it's not. That's going to bring us to the rat wolves if we go west. We just don't have all the options here to get me where I want to go, unfortunately. It's sad, but it's true. All right, well, it is what it is. Okay, next up, we had, and now's when we start seeing repeats. So we only get the things that we didn't have before. Here we go. The depths of mud and concealed by the mist. Concealed by the mist is going to lower threat and clue gain in the current district. We definitely do not want to do that because we need to get one more clue still. So instead, we're going to do a kingdom adventure. And I'm going to regret this probably as well. 82 is our kingdom adventure. I can't believe Sir Sanch is going to fail his investigation. It's so sad. I think he was only getting. I think he was only getting like bravery though, so it's okay. 82. Buried truths. This is another. This is the only time you're ever going to do this kingdom adventure in this copy of the game, unless I reset everything. Buried truths. Oh well. The ancient structure just appears from the mud. A sudden emergence, if the sludge still sloughing off of its ink-black stonework is anything to judge by. A doorway yawns open before you, inviting. Within, the stone passages wind in a logicless pattern, looping around on themselves in ways that should not be possible, and yet must be. You lift your torches up higher, hoping their meager light will show you a way forward, and that's when you see them. Shapes are moving in the glass-like obsidian. You see outlines of what might have been people once, but are distorted and twisted. Their limbs and joints bend in unnatural ways, and their faces are blank voids of roiling shadow that still somehow convey an expression. That expression shared by each and every one of them is torment. Toll taker, deal maker. A slithering past your ankle and a hiss behind your ear. You feel the hairs on the nape of your neck stand on end. Is the mud rising? You're finding it hard to move your feet. Truth, seller, doom, teller. Sudden pressure fills your mind and the outside world fades. There's an adventure cipher, I've never seen this before, of 33. So we have to combine that with each of our characters to see what that does. And this is wild because we're never going to get to do this again. So all of the other entries for 33 something something are going to like literally never happen again, which is just so wild, isn't it? But anyway, mine is 37, right? What's that? Yeah, okay. The ancient, crumbling library is utterly silent, the only movement within being the motes of dust that dance in stray beams of sunlight. This is Sir Sant, by the way. You pick your way through the towering shelves stretching up above you into distant shadows, each one groaning under the weight of myriad tales. Stories of knights, princesses, kings, demons. The narrative of the whole world recorded forever in ink. You can feel the power here, the tremor of what can be, what is, and what has come to pass. Your fingers start to drift along the spines of the books on one shelf, and you can almost imagine feeling them shiver under your touch, begging to be read, their legacy spilling forth into the world once more. So much experienced and wishing to be acknowledged. As you round a corner, you see a lectern ahead with a single tome on it, locked shut, but the name on the cover is easily readable. The Tale of Sir Sanch, the Tracker Knight. Here lies the story of Sir Sanch the Brave, a voice reverberates between the shelves. The reckless, the fool. The words stab you to the heart, and you spin to see the source of the words, but you find nothing and nobody. You wished for a legacy, old man, and you have one. A legacy of selfishness, of arrogance, of stupidity. This is the burden that shall weigh down your name forevermore. There's a faint hissing of serpents, and then the presence is gone, leaving you alone with the tome. You feel a nagging weight upon your heart as you look at it. All your life, you've tried to make a name for yourself, to earn immortality through your deeds. But will you be remembered for courage and nobility, or will your mistakes overshadow all you might have accomplished? If you believe the devil's truth, you can place 2 opening or break tokens in the night pool. If you refuse to believe it, gain 1 passion. I refuse to believe the devil's truth. Then we get to do that again. Oops, and I lost the page. Previous thing alone. Then we need to do 33. I forgot what the number was. 30. 33, 34 for Stoneface. 33.54 for Stoneface. 33.54. There's a lot of words here. You try to open your eyes, but the crushing darkness is all that greets you. Oh, every time I do a big story passage, I want to do this so you can see me read. Not that you see me read, because I'm looking down. Anyway, you know what I mean. You try to open your eyes, but crushing darkness is all that greets you as your mind sluggishly crawls its way back to awareness. You're lying on something, a hard, flat surface. If only your fingers were not made of stone, maybe you could feel what it was, but your sense of touch is imprecise. As you lie there, unable to open your eyes, you feel something brush against you. No, wait, this is no gentle glancing touch. Something has your leg and pulls at it with all its fierce strength. Your whole body moves, and then you feel the leg give way, removed entirely. At last, your eyes snap open, and you look down to see a workman's table littered with chisels and other tools, and the stump of your leg. Ooh, ow, ooh. Okay. The rest of the offending limb is to one side, where the hammers and chisels have been put to work reshaping. All this time trying to find a way to define yourself, and you never saw the truth. A voice, cool and leering, whispers in your stone ears. It has never been your choice how you are formed, Stoneface. You'll always be someone else's sculpt, boy, someone else's design. With a sneering bark of laughter, that voice vanishes, and you're left in the dark workshop alone, powerless under someone else's mercy. If you believe the devil's truth, leash 2. Otherwise, if you refuse to believe it, gain 1 passion. I'm actually going to take that leash 2. Okay. Then we go back to the passage here. You awaken, a strange heavy presence in your skull. The entrance to the ancestor tunnel is just ahead, as if a wall simply opened up to set you free. But are you free? The words you heard in the moments of senselessness dog at your thoughts. Gain 1 curse, and each night may lose 1 beat. Next, we're going to get a curse, bringing us up to 2. I'm glad I didn't take that second one earlier. Every night can lose 1 beat. Nice. And that's that. So we have a problem here, which is we could go west and get that green clue, but that's going to take us back into the Rat Wolf District, which is okay because we can always just backtrack on the last turn and force ourselves into the Paleblood Worms. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're heading west. We're going to get 1. It's fine. We're going to get 1 time. We're going to get 1 threat. Sir Sanch gets his 3rd green clue. Gets his 3rd green clue. So as long as he does not die, he will complete his investigation for this session. And we're going to flip this. And here it is. This is a oh, I didn't change the thing again. This is a faraway landslide. Go ahead and change this thing again either. I'm doing really bad with all this camera stuff. Look, faraway landslide. Oh, that's got a cipher on it too. I'm gonna assume it doesn't have a number because it has a that. Even though I know we're not going to go that way, I'm still going to put out number 12, so you can kind of keep seeing how the Sunken Kingdom takes shape here in case someday you want to go adventuring in the Sunken Kingdom yourselves, and you can see that. We do Faraway Landslide, which is perform rotation 1. Shoot! No! No, that means that the Bog Witch just moved where we are. The Rat Wolves moved to the Mud Kingdom, And no, and the Paleblood Worms moved all the way to the second district, and I'm not going to fight them again. Why can't I fight the worms? Why? Dude, like, I've been playing this game with 7 nights, on and off, in and out. I put these worms into rotation every single time I play, and I just cannot make it work to fight them. This is just wonkadoodles. Ugh. Ugh. Alright. Maybe we'll be lucky, and whatever card comes up on our exploration will give us a rotation. That's what we're hoping for here. We got a curse transfer and a surge. We can either swap our curses and threats and let a sync happen, or place 2 surge tokens on the kingdom sheet. We're going to go ahead and place 2 surge tokens on the kingdom sheet because I don't want to raise my curse or my threat. In case I have to run around like a maniac trying to make something happen for myself here. Oh, that's so disappointing. Ugh. Okay, well, we do have a cipher, so we get to do some story time again at least. So we didn't find any ciphers earlier, but we're finding them all now. They're all on this like little tiny corner of the map here. We'll do Sunken Kingdom first, so that's going to be 37 is Sir Sanj, so that's 0637. 0637. Oh, nice. Little Sir seeps from your shoulder, bounding up the outside of the circular building. He scales over carvings of the saints, all arrayed in regal poses atop sorry. He scales over carvings of the saints, all arrayed in regal poses atop imposing thrones. Foremost among them, Cain, K-A-I-N, Cain, Saint Cain, sits with his broadsword across his lap, a set of scales dangling from one hand. Always shown as the arbiter of justice, even on these crumbling Antiochian ruins. He's like one of the 2 saints I haven't on. So this might be good. It's not good, I bet it. A low croak sets the hairs of your neck on end before moments later a pair of black bodies come bustling out from behind the helm of the Saint of Justice. Taking wing, his little sir shrieks at them offensively. You feel a swell of relief as 2 black birds flutter away, just regular croak, nothing more. As you search the ruin, you note the carvings on the hem of Saint Cain's robe, a repeating pattern in a series of glyphs. So we've unlocked one of the glyphs for Sir Sanj, which I think somebody else has already discovered this one, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm putting like a little line here because I've realized some things are Sunken Kingdom and some things are that the symbols are different in each kingdom. So this is number 4 for the Sunken Kingdom, which is these symbols here. And you're not going to be able to see a thing that I did if I show it to the camera, but I'll show it to the camera anyway. Look, it's Hidden Ruins. It's Hidden Ruins. It's a, well, especially as we zoom out. But here you can kind of see there what they look like. I still haven't really figured out much of nothing, but you know, hey, it is what it is. Okay, so that was that. Then we go to the other book, and we're gonna that's 54 for Stoneface 0654. A massive domed building settles slowly into the mud. The occasional burble of escaping air from its foundations offer mirroring a sudden jolt downwards. It was a grand structure once upon a time, a house of law and order where the judges of Brechtfallen could meet and enforce the dictates of the crown. You gaze up at the statue of a berobed man, holding in one hand a long sword and in the other a set of scales. The face is hidden, but you know enough of the saints to recognize Cain, the arbiter of justice. The plinth of the statue is strange, carved from black obsidian instead of the white marble of the saint. There are some patches of rough stone as if something else was a part of the plinth was broken away, making room for this new addition. And upon its sides you find a strange spidery script, and I found a different different number there for Stoneface. So I have two numbers now, and we will, when I'm not on camera, we're gonna share that information between us so that we each have it. But for now, I have discovered what the number 5 is for Stoneface. I really have no idea what this code is. Well, it is what it is. Return to the down. Okay. So here we are. This is the situation. If we go west, we might get an encounter card that lets us shift the rotation again. If not, we would have to fight the Bog Witch again, which I don't want to fight her twice in one delve. I want to have a variety of gear for people to choose. The other option is we backtrack. We try to backtrack all the way to here. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 curse, which would bring us to 10 and kill us. Now, if I wasn't stupid, wait, I could have done this. I could have, instead of taking the 2 surge tokens, I could have triggered a sync, taken 2 curse, bringing us to 4 to lower our threat to 1. Then, then on this turn, I can backtrack 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bringing us to 8. Oh, no, that won't work because I get a threat if I land in that space, and that would cause this 666 event to get hit, which I don't want to do. So no, we're not going to do that. We're gonna let the thing happen that happens. We're just gonna fight some rats. We're gonna backtrack 1, spend 1 time, fight some rats. That's gonna be it. I have to choose one of these 2 things. And this is sync and backtrack to the previous tile. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're gonna instead put the deep wet fog in our current district. Oh, at the end of the delve round before, I had to do a thing here, which was somebody had to get a heat or place a flood token, replace the flood token. And we are ending in the mud district, and we are going to fight rat wolves. So, still no worms for me. I am never going to fight worms. I'm sad. Maybe next time. Now, the funny thing is here, my plan was to do my second delve with these guys on Vassal tier, so that we could get some Vassal gear for Stone Knight. But now, that's not going to happen because I'm going to be back trying to get these worms again, because I just can't get these worms to show up. And I'm going to take some gear to prevent rotations. I'm going to try not to cheat. But, it is what it is. So you're going to get to see an encounter with the rat, which I think Stoneface is going to be good against them, but we shall see. From now until I get to that, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Whatever you do, keep your health bars full. I will see you in a clock tick.